Hey there, Leilani with the Magical Solution here, and I have a couple of tips for both the new readers and the seasoned readers. Let's get into it. So before I give you these tips, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. But the reason that I wanted to give these tips has to do with a case study that I had gone through. And I think that this case study is an extremely important lesson that gives us lots of good tips as readers, okay? So here it is. So I had this client once who came to me with a situation where her ex-husband died and is still haunting her, is still plaguing her, okay? She didn't give me any information outside of that. She just said, my ex-husband is dead and I believe he is still harassing me and I need this to stop, okay? Now, mind you, when I do my intake, there's a lot with intakes, okay? I assess mental health, I assess family, I assess all kinds of stuff, right? What I ended up finding out was that she had been to many, many, many readers. She had been to many misas. And the same problem kept coming up where all the mediums, all the espiritistas who read her or who were in misa with her all said, there's nothing wrong with your ex. He's fine, just give him a little candle of elevation, send him on his way. He's fine. He's not a bad spirit, are you sure he's doing all these things to you? Are you sure that's not just your bad luck? Are you sure you're not just doing it yourself? Blah, 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 blah. This poor woman, she felt gaslit. She felt like the battered wife that nobody believed. Okay? And for good reason. So by the time she came to me, it was very, very clear that we are dealing with a spirit who, just like in real life, was very charismatic, very funny and witty and personable, very intelligent, who can blend in with different crowds, was just a real crowd pleaser, real spotlight, lit up the room, just the whole nine. But behind closed doors was an absolute narcissistic, abusive partner. You can already see where I'm going with this, right? Lo and behold, when we look back at all the readers she had went to, they were all male. And when she went to the group misas, it was a mix of genders, but most of them were female. What do you know? Statistically speaking, narcissists who run these games like this are very good at convincing groups of women that they are wonderful and convincing men one-on-one that they are wonderful. And so she got the feedback that he was fine. There's nothing wrong. Like, don't stress it. What are you talking about, right? And many lessons are to be learned from this situation. So let's talk about it. So lesson number 1. If you are a new reader, especially if you're a new reader, this is a really important lesson. And that is, please go have life experiences first before you decide to offer services to the community. And I mean that as a loving person. I don't mean that as in like, oh, you don't know shit and you shouldn't be reading because you don't know shit. No, there's something to be said about lived life experiences that will teach you how to empathize with others, right? Because how can you feel what the other person is feeling if you have never felt anything not even remotely similar to that? It's difficult. It's not impossible. It's difficult. Now, your girl is not out here telling you to go start some shit so that you can have experiences, right? If it happens naturally, cool. My suggestion is that you wait. That's why people who are seasoned readers You know, they didn't start offering these services until they were in their 20s, 30s, because by that point they've had 30 years of life. But if you're out here at 16 years old giving readings on people and their marriages, what the fuck do you know about marriages, right? Like, so like there is a certain level of life experience that is important to the job, and we encourage you to have those experiences before you start giving services. But let's just say you're good like that. You don't need to have the experience to know what's happening. You're good like that. And there are situations like that. I was one of those kids that didn't need to go through the thing to know the thing. I'm a pattern recognition type of person. I'm a don't touch the stove to know that it's hot type of person. If you see that it's hot and someone tells you that it's hot, it's fucking hot. It's all you need to know, right? So like, it's that, you know, there are people like that. There's no, you know, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But that's number one. The other lesson that's really, really important, and this is more so with regards to seasoned readers, because I see this issue kind of pop up more so with seasoned readers because they've been doing it so long and they are so good at what they do that they often rest on their laurels, and things like their own judgments, their own discriminations, their own ego oftentimes becomes so intermingled with their divination that they more often than not read from that place, from a place of just simple pattern recognition. They've been doing this for so long, they already know, they've seen this case a million times before, they already know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm here to tell you, stop that shit. Do not rest on your laurels. You need to treat every client like they are brand spanking new, because they are. You need to treat every case with as much respect and with detail and with the nuance that it is, because it is. Okay? And you need to remove ego from your situation. You need to remove judgments and ego, because yes, we are not asking you to be a fool. Pattern recognition is important. We know 90% of the clients that come to us that say, does he love me? We know that it's going to be a no, like 90% of the time, right? So like, we get that there are repetitive things, but we still want to give the respect and do our due diligence to make sure that we've covered all the bases, we got all the details, and we are patching over all the nuances, right? You know, we don't want to sweep people. We don't want to generalize with people, right? So that's number two. That's most important, to remove the ego, to remove your judgments. Number three, and this one is key, okay? Really understand that people come from different types of oppressions, but these oppressions are legitimately real, and many of them are systematic, right? So you might have clients that are dealing with situations that are rooted in racism, gender issues, parental issues, educational issues, and these are all systematic things that you need to be aware of. So yes, being a reader is very much political, very much so. So you need to know what the fuck is going on, and you need to know how your client is being affected by what the fuck is going on, okay? Number four, sorry, I'm on number four, listen to me. The most important thing is to be trauma informed. Nobody's asking you to go out here and get your degree in psychology. However, go online and take an online course for 30 minutes on what trauma-informed therapy is, how to look out for individuals who are suffering from trauma, who have suffered through trauma, or who are currently suffering trauma. And bitch, the way this political environment is right now, in another 5 more years, every single one of our clients is going to be trauma that we're going to have to deal with. So get ready. And last but not least, figure out how to be a mandated reporter in your local area, because there are going to be some cases that are going to be out of your region of expertise, and you're going to need to pass that along to the legal powers that be. So learn what it means to be a mandated reporter in your area and be on it. Now, this case gets even crazier. I might have to do a part 2. But for now, I hope these 4 tips were helpful. My name is Leilani. This is The Magical Solution, and this is how we grow.